So here we have the final game of the final round of Swiss at the Worcester Manaleak tournament taken in January 2014, brought to you by Netrunners.co.uk. If you watched the first match, you'll know that I managed to get the win, so I'm in a good position for prizes at the very least. So I'm feeling confident already, it has to be said. Ryan on the right there playing Weyland, myself playing Andromeda on the left. He's taken a mulligan. I'm quite content and happy with my 9 cards for Andy, because after all, surely it's impossible to have a bad Andy hand. It is obviously completely possible, but the odds are certainly stacked in Andy's favour. So I hate Tag and Bag, I hate Weyland, but the good news is this deck is very much geared for it. It has 3 Plascretes and 1 Decoy, which is probably overkill, to say the very least, but I far prefer overkill than anything else, to be utterly truthful. So he's drawn into what looks like 2 agendas there and 2 or 3 pieces of ice. I think that might be Jackson Howard. So 2 pieces of ice for Jackson and 2 agendas. Project Atlas and a geothermal fracking, it looks like. Mandatory draw into an ice wall, which he's going to play. He's going to leave R&D wide open. He's going to install the Project Atlas into the remote. Unfortunately, archives are completely out of frame here, so I can't tell you what he's playing half the time, which I do apologise for profusely. Desperado first click, second click we're going to Dirty Laundry R&D. We're going to have a look, and we're not going to see anything, but that's fine because Dirty Laundry has done its work. The important thing here is just to get the value out of the Desperado that's been played more than anything else. It's nice that I've got all my tokens there in frame, obviously the important thing, rather than the cards themselves. I'm sure you would agree. Please do. I'll do better, I promise. I'm going to get some black tape or something like that. I'm going to Dirty Laundry R&D again, but it doesn't make a difference. I've obviously already seen the card. And play, I believe, a Plascrete there. Final click. Or something. Who knows? He is going to play a hedge fund. He's going to ice up R&D, and he's going to draw. So a card goes down with Mirror Sheen Loveliness. I think that's Corroder. Yep, so I play the Corroder there first click. He's having a quick check to see what ice he's put down already. Second click, I'm going to run R&D, run headlong into an Enigma, so I lose my third click. And final click, I am going to have a bit of a ponder. I'm going to run HQ, sorry, he hasn't rezzed. So I run HQ and run into a Jackson Howard. I have the money, and so I am going to trash him. He does his mandatory draw, and move on to the next. He's going to score his Project Atlas for 3. So no overscoring, which I'm always happy to see. I'm going to play Mr. Lee, and second click I'm going to use him to draw up. It looks like one of those moments where you see 2 cards you really, really want to keep, rather than just one of them. I'm going to do the same again. Trying to keep my hand size high. I don't want to walk into the Scorched unnecessarily. And then final click. I'm going to run HQ. And see the other Project Atlas in hand, so that was worthwhile, and obviously gain the credit from Desperado in the process as well. So there's a good opportunity there to score. He's drawing up. At this point I'm quite glad I've got rid of the Jackson Howard. So he's going to install over HQ, telegraphing that he probably has Mother Agenda in there to me. I'm not sure if he actually does, but certainly it's what makes me think. First click I'm going to Mr. Lee. Oh, Mr. Lee, what an absolute gem of a card for Criminal. Obviously, because Criminal need all the help they can get. Obviously. And second click, we're going to run HQ. I run headlong into another Enigma. So looking for that Yogg now, that's for sure. And I'm going to take some... Oh no, sorry, I'm going to spend some money. On something. I think that was, oh, sorry, it was daily casts. So I've just played a daily casts, cost me 3, and I put money on it. That's what's just gone in the far end of the screen. I can recall just about, thankfully. So he just draws through and takes some money. I am going to take the money off daily casts. Use Mr. Lee first click. I think I'm desperately searching here for either A, economy, or B, the Yogg I need to break through those enigmas. And I play a card. It's a shiny card. Another daily casts. So I now have 2 daily casts in play. Oh, he's got a snare in hand, I can see there from Ryan, so something to be wary of. Weyland running snares is quite common in our meta, as well as probably in most of your metas, I would suggest as well. And having learned the painful lesson from game 1, I'm going to endeavour to make sure I don't do it again. There's always these horrible moments. So he's iced up the remote an extra card. I still only have the corroder on the board. It looks like he's going to install the snare into the remote, egging me on, so to speak. So I take my daily cast money, taking me back up to 5. I certainly have no burning desire to rush through on snares. Or rush through remotes, sorry, rather I should say. It's only on 2 points. I'm on 2 points. There's no advantage gained either way. My economy is chugging along quite nicely in the shape of daily casts. I still have a corroder on the board. All I need to do is find the Yogg, and I'm in a very, very strong position. As long as I'm cautious of Archer, though I strongly suspect that he's not going to give up a 2-point agenda for an Archer. And if he does, then that's fine. So we're going to run somewhere. I think, am I running the remote? Yes, I believe I am. So second click running the remote. Probably a little bit foolhardy. He's making a grand show of umming and ahhing his way. Ah, no, okay, so he pulls the Grim, trashing the corroder. So this is probably the most painful remote to hit. Obviously he doesn't have the money to actually use the snare, which is probably a small mercy at this point. Otherwise I may have cried. If he'd taken out a Yogg, it would have been even worse. I have got Knights in the deck, which I'm probably going to tail in the next tournament, but the Knights act as my backup, but they're not particularly effective at breaking enigmas. It's costing 4 credits, isn't ideal. So play another daily cast, taking my daily cast total up to 3. So lots of drip economy coming in here, there's no denying it.
Sorry, so again, all credits. Okay, yeah, fine. I'm going to lose.
He's just going to click the money. I am going to take a lot of money off my daily casts. I'm going to special order. First click. And pull out a lovely shiny card. I couldn't tell you what it is. I think it's a Yogg. Almost positive that's a Yogg. So now the plan is to run through and R&D, lock him to high heaven. So this is the kind of point where I'd like to see some R&D interfaces. I've got 2 in the deck, as do most Andromeda decks. And there's a reason. I have to say, there is a reason. So though Yogg costs 5, it means I've got some beautiful economy, so I'm going to run R&D. Obviously with Desperado, I'm going to trash whatever that was there. I think it may have been another snare, so I may have got incredibly lucky because I only had 3 credits. I'm going to run again and steal a Geothermal Thracking. So another credit gain from Desperado. And pass the turn over. So he's going to play some economy cards, some burst economy with his Weyland. And he's going to install another ice onto R&D. So at this stage I'm not particularly missing the corroder, it has to be said. He's also going to install into his remote. I certainly can't break through the Grim. I'm not going to give up the Yogg, which is so important at this stage. Hence the reason why he didn't trash the Enigma. So Mr. Lee. And play a fairy. Fairly certain that's a fairy.
Third click on your remote. 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to run through the Grim with the fairy and trash it, at which point he raises an Icefall, and I wish I did have the Corroder left. Unfortunately I don't, so I bounce off. And that run was for naught. So the Grim is going to pose a long-term problem, there's no denying it. I need to find a better solution for the Grim. So a Ninja would be ideal, and which I do have one of on the deck. Knight would probably be even better, only costing me 2 to break through each time. So unsurprisingly he's going to score the final Project Atlas in his deck, taking his level points, 4 points all, and I'm going to take all my daily cast money, of which there is a rather obscene amount. I'm going to use Mr. Lee, first click. So tentatively placed, there is no denying it that it's very tentative. Second click I'm going to Mr. Lee again. I'm probably looking either here for a special order or Corroder, possibly another ninja, another fairy, sorry, or the ninja for that matter. Sure gamble, last 2 clicks. So all the money, building up ready for the killer turn hopefully. Looks like he has another agenda in hand there, geothermal fracking. Doesn't seem to be gunning for a scorched win. I don't think he's seen any scorched earths in his hand at all, so he's just building his economy and biding his time. I'm going to Mr. Lee. I'm not quite sure whether that is a Corroder or a fairy. I'm fairly sure that's a fairy. Yep, it's a fairy, and I'm going to run through on R&D and see an ice wall, bounce off. Again, these chuffing ice walls. But that's fine. I haven't lost anything, and Mr. Lee again. So the Corroder becomes priority 1, 2 and 3 here, or a knight.
You're on 3, I think. So you would have gone 2.
And he's going to click for some cash. And draw. I think he's deciding whether he wants to obviously put something in that remote, whether he can actually score the agenda or not. So he's giving some serious consideration to playing the geothermal in the remote. I don't have the barrier breaker down yet. Does he think I have it in hand? Does he think I can go and fetch it? So at this point he thinks I probably can, and so he just discards down and takes a credit. Which was sensible, because first click is special order, and lo and behold there's the Corroder. So I now have an effective full breaker suite. Obviously again the fairy's temporary, but it's enough to get me into any server once at least. So it's 2 clicks, third click we're going to run through R&D and get incredibly jammy. Steal the hostile takeover, taking me to 5 points. And then get even more lucky and see a false lead. So still not the win, but I'm never going to complain about stealing 2 agenda points in a turn. So I'm on 6 points. And he's in a real quandary now, because he knows he can no longer put anything down into the remote. R&D is wide open. Presumably HQ is wide open. He's got nowhere to put any agendas. So he's taking some money with his economy, and he's installing another piece of ice onto R&D. So it is a difficult situation. No remote is sacred. He has to secure R&D, but at the same time, the chances of him actually scoring agenda points here is getting slim as time goes on. So first click I'm going to Mr. Lee, second click I'm going to run R&D, see a Bastion, which I can break with my Corroder. I'm going to go run through, access and score, and that's the game. R&D really gave it up there, and again, as you can see from his hand, he definitely got agenda flooded quite early on in the game there, seeing almost all of his agendas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 agendas there, all the rest at the bottom of the deck. So he's unfortunate, but this did, however, mean that I came away with first prize, despite dropping a game at the very first match, which was very happy moment for me, I must confess. Again, if you'd like to come and challenge me and think you have a good shout, which you probably do to be fair, of taking my crown, do come along in February. Again, it's the second Saturday of the month. In the meantime, check us out at Netrunners.co.uk. We'll have a whole bunch of material and resources for you to use. Have a look at our forums as well. Feel free to join in and have a chat with us. Until next time, we'll bring you some more footage soon. Thank you.